Other Democratic governor candidates don't join Dennis Kucinich's call to end fracking. One of the Democrats running for governor is calling for an end to oil and gas drilling in Ohio. That's Dennis Kucinich. No surprise there. While Dennis Kucinich's four primary opponents aren't embracing that idea, they agree that more needs to be done to protect the environment. Kucinich, a former U.S. congressman and Cleveland mayor, says he wants to use eminent domain to shut down fracking wells and initiate a class action lawsuit to make fracking companies pay for damage to the environment. I'm with him. Those who have poisoned Ohio's people and the land will be made to pay, Kucinich said. Former state rep Connie Pill battles, and taxpayers are going to have to pay those legal fees, as opposed to paying the consequence they have now via poisoned water wells, via destruction to the land, via their land prices plummeting, via not having access to clean drinking water, as opposed to all that. Former Ohio Supreme Court Justice Bill O'Neill also takes issues with his suggestion. Ending fracking is not the right answer, and initiating another class action lawsuit is clearly not the right answer. State Senator Joe Schiavone says fracking is important to parts of Ohio, but believes the state needs to be a better watchdog, which is this bullshit establishment speak for I don't want to do anything about fracking. That's what that is. And former Consumer Financial Bureau Director Richard Cordray agrees strict enforcement is key. As you know, when I was Ohio Attorney General, I prosecuted polluters who did not engage in responsible practices. By the way, when I did an ecology study on the effects of fracking in Western Pennsylvania, on an average, these oil and gas companies commit 2,800 infractions a year. I didn't misspeak. 2,800 infractions a year. They view it as the cost of doing business. That's all it is. In fact, I saw a lecture once where this guy made a beautiful analogy to what the EPA guidelines for fracking companies are. He said, you know, when I was growing up, this was the person saying this, I lived in New Orleans, and every year we would go into, you know, the heart of it in Bourbon Street for Mardi Gras. And they're very strict with parking during Mardi Gras. But, you know, none of us wanted to drive. We were going to drink, right? So what they would do is they would just park in an area they knew they couldn't park in, and they knew they were going to get a ticket, and the ticket was $35. So they just drove with like 5 or 7 of them in a car and just planned on paying the ticket later. They were like, we're all just going to drive. We're going to take turns, who drives, so who gets the ticket on the record. And that's just the cost of doing business every year. It's well worth it. We all pay like $5. That's the analogy he gave for what the EPA, quote unquote, regulations do to the oil and gas companies. It's just the price of doing business for them. 2,800 infractions. So, you know, when an establishment politician says, oh, we just need to regulate it more closely, we just need to monitor it more closely, that's bullshit. That's corporate speak for we want to do nothing about this, and we don't care what's going on with this to the environment. Any person in the science community that's being honest with you, meaning the oil and gas company doesn't sign a paycheck for them, will tell you when it comes to fracking, the proper homework was not done. The damages outweigh the benefits by a fuck ton. It's water. It's freaking water. You can't fuck with water. I mean, that's not, you don't need to be a scientist to know that. You don't fuck with water. And any scientist will tell you, yeah, this is not, we did not do the proper legwork here. Andrew points out 2,800 infractions. Love it. You know me. Can't believe I broke my guitar string, you guys. You put a lot of emphasis on making sure you have people on the ground at the ODA. All right, so this is more bullshit. Oh, we're gonna protect it. Informer, all right, agrees strict enforcement is key. Republican dominate Ohio's legislators, so if a Democrat is elected governor, they'd have to work with conservatives who embrace fracking to make big changes. Well, you know, Dennis Kucinich certainly knows a thing or two, and I will say he's one of the few politicians that I really get excited about. He was the first politician I ever got excited about literally in my lifetime. I never got, you know, in 2004, I was really, really, really diehard into John Kerry, not because I thought John Kerry was a great candidate, not because I was excited about him, but because I hated Bush that much. Because I knew at that point Bush was a war criminal that needed to get the fuck out of office. And I was going to do anything it took to get Bush out of office. And of course, we failed, and Kerry lost because he was that uninspiring. In 08, I was actually excited about the idea of Dennis Kucinich. I actually saw somebody running for president that ran on a platform I believed in, that ran on a platform that represented me. And Andrew's pun reached back to time and fractured your guitar string. I love it. I love it. So my point is, if there's anyone that knows about being against the grain, it's Dennis Kucinich. I mean, this guy has operated in Cleveland for years and years and years. He made some decisions that in the short term made everybody hate him, but in the long term saved the city a fuckload of money. And when it unfolded, he kept getting reelected and reelected and reelected and reelected because of it. They were like, this guy made an energy decision. I think it was in regards to like their lights. He's like, this guy made an energy decision that we all hated him for in the short term, but it ended up saving our ass in the long term. What a guy, right? So Dennis Kucinich knows about going against the grain, and if he were to become Ohio's governor, which I think it would be a great thing if he was, he'd really be able to rally the people. So I hope he ends fracking in that state, and I hope he becomes the governor. It's going to be a long haul, and he's going to face a lot of opposition. But he's one of the few good guys. He is one of the few good guys.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. That was a clip from Get Your News On with Ron, the world's first viewer-curated streaming news show. What does that mean? That means I log on to a stream and people tweet me articles over on Twitter at Ron Placone, or they use our Reddit subsection, which is just Get Your News On with Ron over on Reddit. And that's how we build the show. I'm seeing all these articles for the first time. We are literally getting our news on together. Follow me on Twitter at Ron Placone so you can participate. And this show streams live every Tuesday through Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please do tune in. If you want to support this show, you can do so over on patreon.com/Ron Placone, where for as low as $1 a month, you get access to exclusive podcasts every week, exclusive videos, free tickets to shows when I'm performing in your town, and more for as low as $1 a month. Please do consider it. Thank you so much for your support. This has been Get Your News On with Ron.